was stabbed to death by an OF model I had been stalking online. It all started innocently enough. One evening, scrolling through social media, I stumbled upon her profile. She was bad, wavy auburn hair, striking green eyes, and a pretty smile. I didn't even know her, but something about her intrigued me. Found myself going back to her profile every day. Her posts were captivating, her photos flawless. I was hooked. I started following her quietly. At first, it was just a harmless curiosity, but soon I began to wonder more. Where did she live? Did she have a man? I had to subscribe to her page and saw she had made some videos with a couple dudes, lucky bastards, but nobody consistent. I found myself piecing together bits of information from her posts, obsessively going through her friends' profiles, mapping out her life like a puzzle. I even found her old Facebook account, where she had pictures of old family vacations, high school prom, and old friends. She was always sexy. She was perfect. I wasn't the only one who noticed her. She had plenty of followers, but she didn't seem to interact with them much. She posted, but rarely replied to comments. Still, I convinced myself that maybe we'd connect if I messaged her. So, one evening, after weeks of lurking, I sent her a DM. "Hey, I think you are gorgeous, and I want to get to know you better." To my surprise, she responded quickly, too quickly. "Thanks. That's sweet. What do you want to know?" I replied, "What that mouth do mama?" "LOL," she sent back. I stared at my screen, stunned. It was odd, but after a week of talking consistently, we agreed to link up. We planned to meet at a coffee shop the next day. It felt surreal. When I arrived, she was already there, sitting by the window. She looked even more beautiful in person, but there was something different about her energy, something I hadn't expected. Her smile was the same, but her eyes seemed sharper, more intense. I walked over, and she immediately stood up to greet me. "You're even more interesting than I thought," she said, eyes locking onto mine. "I could tell you were watching me. I've been waiting for someone like you." Her words sent a chill down my spine, but I tried to shrug it off as nerves. We sat down, and the conversation was oddly fluid. But the more we talked, the more I realized something was off. She asked strange questions. "Do you believe in fate? Do you think people can be controlled?" She leaned in close, her voice dropping. "How far would you go to be with someone you love?" I laughed nervously, but she didn't break eye contact. She just kept staring at me, her smile growing wider, almost unnatural. "You've been watching me, but what if I'd been watching you?" I froze. Had she somehow known? Her phone buzzed, and she glanced at it with a smirk. "I know more than you think. Your online life is fascinating." She began listing places I'd checked into, photos I'd posted, even obscure comments I'd left on forums years ago. My stomach dropped. I wasn't stalking her. She was stalking me. "I think we're going to get along just fine," she whispered, leaning across the table. Her fingers brushed mine, and suddenly I didn't want to be there anymore. My heart raced as I muttered an excuse and stood up, but her eyes followed me, that creepy smile never faltering. As I hurried out of the cafe, I glanced back to see her watching me through the window, her face dark, eyes burning with a disturbing kind of excitement. I blocked her the moment I got home, but no matter what I did, I couldn't shake the feeling that she was still watching. The next day, I found a note slipped under my door. "Don't worry, I'll always be watching." What the fuck? I threw the note away. I woke up in the middle of the night to pee and noticed my window was open. I felt a chill go down my spine, and when I turned around, she was there, standing in the corner. "What are you doing in here?" I yelled. "Get the hell out." She stepped forward. "We are destined to be together. Why are you treating me like this?" I noticed she was holding a big-ass knife. She lunged at me and stabbed me in my side. I pushed her off and ran out to the hallway. "Stop fighting this," she screamed, and she chased me. I had almost made it to the door, but my vision was blurry and my knees felt like noodles. I dropped to the ground, struggling to breathe. As my conscience began to fade, the last image I saw was her standing over me, licking my blood off the knife. She whispered, "I'll never let you leave me."